Amit, Lalit, Amit, can you hear me? Saurabh?
Yes, I got one.
Okay, great. Uh, so let's move to the topic. Uh, हमारा last topic, if I'm not wrong, so that was CSS चल रहा था, but we were not deep dive into CSS. तो आज हम दो काम करेंगे CSS के मल्टीपल जो जो प्रॉपर्टीज रह गई हैं उनको कवर करेंगे, ग्रिड कवर करेंगे और उसके बाद हम एक HTML CSS को यूज करके एक ऐप बनाएंगे, ठीक है? ऐप से मेरा मतलब है लैंडिंग पेज. So hopefully I'm audible to everyone. I'm going to share my screen. Is it visible to you? Please acknowledge. Saurabh, Amit, Lalit, Amit, is it visible?
Sir, it's processing. Not yet.
Oh, okay. Please acknowledge me once it's visible.
No, sir, it's not visible.
Not visible.
Not visible. Okay. Let me share it again. Hope I'm again audible. Let me share my screen. Now is it visible or not? Please let me know.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, okay, great. So let's move back to the CSS properties. So first let us open our VS Code. It is nothing but the code of React. This is the way to write React. To do backend. Usually. Morning time. So today it is, if I'm not wrong, 15th September. Okay, let's start with an index.html file. Styles.css. And let's start writing here. Link the CSS first. Oh, suppose h1 hello world. We say save and go live. September, hello world is there. Now we are moving back to the properties of CSS. So first start with basics again, so that we'll cover all the things. So as we know, color property is for changing the text color. The things which we already covered, I will not explain you again. The things which is not covered, will explain you again. Okay. Now what is selector? Selector is, suppose we have an HTML document which contains n number of elements. So what is the way to select that particular element is called selector. We have two or three types of selector. We have class name, we have ID name. Suppose if I want to use class name here, so I will give class, suppose heading tag. Heading tag, I will go here and will select the class with using dot operator. Heading tag, border 2 pixels, solid red, let's suppose. So it's here. Also, we have the another way to get it, which is ID. ID, how can I get an ID? ID, suppose heading element. So instead of this dot operator, we will use here hash operator. Heading element. Background color wheat. Let's say, as you can say, background color is changed. Now again, go firstly initiate before initiating our application. Let's reset the margin and padding of our application. Margin should be 0, padding should be 0, box sizing should be border box. So it's start from the 0 actually. Now what are the other properties we have? So let's close this one and we'll back move to this one. Yeah. So CSS first step. It is not like that. Where's the properties of CSS actually? Yeah, here it is. So what are the properties required? Let us try to understand. Text properties I already told you. Now what is this position properties? So position properties is used to change the position of this element. Let's try to do this. So we have position absolute property. Now what is position absolute? Position absolute will that your this element will start from 0 to 0 and the display of this element will be converted into inline, not be block. It is not taking the whole width of your screen now. It is just taking the required width of screen. Now you can place it where over the screen wherever you want by mentioning two dimensions like top, suppose top 20 pixel. Basically, it will become between 20 pixels from the top side and left 500 pixels, let's say. So from left, it is 500 pixels away, and from top it is 20 pixels away. Also, if you don't want this, what you can do, you can set any two dimensions. Instead of top left, you can set right 50 pixels and bottom 50 pixels, let's say. So this should be here. As you can see, this is here. So the absolute mean will be, it will be at the 0, 0 index of 0, 0 coordinates of your web page. Now from where you want to give it the dimensions, it will start taking the dimensions from those indexes, right? So suppose in the absolute, also you can change the height width accordingly as per your requirement. Suppose height should be 100 pixels and width should also be 100 pixels. So it 100 pixels is less actually. Let's say 1,000. Okay, so now it is now it is overflowing over the screen. Okay, so this is about position absolute property. Now we have one more property here, which is position relative. Relative. So relative means now it is at this place over your screen. Now it will start taking the reference over the current position. Suppose when you mentioned this element should be here. Now, if you give any changes to it, like how can I tell you? Like left 500 pixels. So it is taking the, okay, it was already at 0. Let me do something. Margin, no, not margin. Need to give padding, need to give padding in the body section. Padding 100 pixels. Yep. Now, if I remove this left one, as you can see, this element is already here because we added some padding to the body. Now, if I'll give any change to it, so this will be applied from this current location. Okay, so instead of suppose I'll add top 10 pixel, save. So instead of taking this height from this place, it is taking the height from the last place. Let's increase this margin to 100 pixels. So now it is taking the reference from the initial position where it is mentioned. Is it clear? Please let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We have one more concept of fixed. position should be fixed. Fixed means it will not move over the screen, over the scroll effect. Suppose I will increase their height to 200 VH. This page is scrollable, but this is fixed over here. Suppose over body, we applied some background color red. So this, as you can see over here, this is scrollable, but this will be static. In most of website, you saw that, like I have an example. Hopefully this should be not, this is not perfect. Okay. Yep. So the best example is this. As you can see, page is getting scroll, but this particular navbar is not getting scroll. Also, this chat with us button is not getting scroll. It is at the fixed position. So this is the best example. When you are scrolling to the another section of the page, another part of the page will get scroll, but the component will be fixed to that particular location, right? So this thing is called fixed. Okay, let's move to something else. This was about positions. Also, you can set the height width in the positions as well as per your requirement. Suppose I remove this height. So I remove this top. So it is right back to this position. So till now, guys, if you have any
Hello,
doubt,
sir.
please. Yeah,
Sir, if hello body change again to inline by
sorry,
position fixed
sorry.
means when we use sir you used a block tag hello world in
Hmm.
starting, but when you use the position absolute it changed into inline
That's
tag and each
please.
when you change again into position fixed, then it change again to inline tag.
So that's a feature of position. When you change the position, your element will be changed as per the requirement. Suppose if you are changing a position is to absolute, like this one. This should be an absolute. So this should take only the required width. However, it is div or a button, but it should only take the required width of the screen. It should not take the whole width of the screen. That's why we only use position properties, because it also change the display from of the element from inline to block. Hope that's clear.
Means we can
Mhm.
change block tag to inline tag by position property.
No. We can change block tag to inline tag by also using display property. Yeah, we can change it. It is getting changed with the help of position property, but we have another concept which is called display property, which we will tell you later what it is. And
Okay.
because we have lots of feature in display property, so it is kept for the last. Okay, because that will be
Okay.
too much
Okay.
explainable, because display property will contain the block, inline, flex. So that will be a time taking process. Okay, so you don't need to worry about
Okay.
that thing. I'll be explaining that. Great. Let's move to something else. Display block. Just like this property, as you can see, display block. So what it is happening, we are converting an inline element to the block level element. So that's the thing is happening here. Let's move to the next properties. What we have. Background, we told you. Background properties, we already told you. Border. Okay, border. Now what is border? One of the major property. I hope border is not still clear, because that was a time taking thing. So yeah, not time taking thing, but I think I forget it to mention. What is border? Okay, let me remove this background color. So border, generally we declare it by using border property, but we have another way to declare it. First of all, we have to declare the width of the border, that how it should be wide, how it wide should be. Okay, suppose I want 20 pixels of border width, but still there is no border. because we have to mention at least three properties. What is the width of the border? What should be the style of border? And what should be the color of border? Now, border type, sorry, border style. So we have multiple types of border: dashed, dotted, double, groove, hidden, inherit, initial, inset, none, outset, ridge. We have lots of. So for now, we are using solid. You can try it wherever you are coding it. So still, if you save it and you see there's a border of black color, but what you want? You want a border of white color. So we have also a property of border color. Let's make it to aquamarine. So as you can see now, there's a border of 20 pixel aquamarine. So this was about solid border. Let's move it to dotted. So this thing is called dotted border. If I reduce the pixels, maybe it will be more clear. As you can see now, this is the dotted border. Okay, we have also another concepts like double. When you save it, there are two borders, one after one. And the gap between should be equal to 2 pixels. And let's say groove. This will be the groove border with a 3D effect with two colors, one inside and one outside. So this thing is called groove border. Now we have a shorthand property. For most of the CSS properties, we have a shorthand properties. Instead of writing these things separately, we can directly write border. First should be width of the border, 2 pixel. You want solid, so that border style. And at the end, you should mention the color, yellow. So if you go back to here, as you can see, 2 pixel yellow color border is here. Now, most of you are thinking, sir, we already mentioned here one border, then why this border is getting displayed over there? So in our CSS, there's a rule that things which are declared at the last for a particular element will be displayed over there. So the priority order of any element will be the last CSS which is mentioned related to this element. Hope it is clear. Please let me know.
Yes, clear, sir.
Lalit, Saurabh, Amit, any doubt? Please let me know. Saurabh, can you hear me? Let me ask you again. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, no doubt.
Okay, Lalit.
Yes, sir.
Akhilesh, do you have any doubt? Lalit, Akhilesh, Amit.
हाँ जी आगो
Yeah, do you have any doubt?
एक मिनट आ रहा है
No, sir. No, sir. Clear, clear.
Okay. Let's move to the further properties then. Let me comment this. Okay, now one more thing. What is comment? What is this thing? Star, forward slash star, then star forward slash, which is called in coding. Star is called asterisk. So what is this thing actually? So comment is nothing but the piece of code snippet which you enter over your code, and that will be ignored by the compiler or the browser. In any language, comment is the lines of code. Comment is the line of code which is developer placed for their reference, and that code snippet will be ignored by the browser or compiler in any technology. So it is not like that comment is only the part of CSS. It is comment is something which is present in any kind of language, in any kind of styling technology, in any kind of JavaScript like technologies. Okay, so comment, what is the thing? What a developer use for the comments? Like if I go back to another code, so you will see there's some piece of codes which is a piece of text which developers create there for the reference purpose. Suppose he or she created a function which is for generating two numbers. So at the top of the function, they comment that this function is used for adding two numbers. Okay, suppose. So this particular piece of code snippet is called comment, which will be ignored by the compiler. Compiler will not use that thing, will not compile that thing, or in any technology, any kind of execution context will be ignored by that. Okay, so that thing we use, that's why we use comment. Still, comments are something which is not be usable in your code. Okay, if I comment this piece of line, so this particular piece of code snippet will away from the screen. Now, sir, as we can see here, here's another method, forward slash asterisk, forward slash asterisk to comment the piece of line. But here what we use, here we use opening bracket, exclamatory mark, hyphen, 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 and closing bracket. So this, in any language, the way to write comments, the way to mention comments are different. So in HTML, what we use this thing to comment whatever between this piece of code snippet will be comment and will be ignored by the browser. So we have a shortcut in VS Code. In VS Code to comment the particular piece of code, which is control plus forward slash. Of course, if someone is using Mac, so it can be command plus forward slash, else I can write it as like this, or it can be again control plus forward slash. Will be totally depending over the customized shortcut your VS Code, which you can find here in the command palette, all the settings. So this thing is called comment. Now let's back to the properties, and you can also uncomment by using the same shortcut. Border we have done. Border we have done. Okay, something called border radius. Now what is this border radius? Border radius is to provide the curve over the edge of, over the side of the borders. Like this side we can curve if we want to curve. So this thing is called border radius. This side if we want to curve. So we can also provide something called border radius like properties. So first let initialize a border. Border 2 pixels solid pink, let's say. Now we want to curve it. So border radius should be 8 pixel, let's say. As you can see, these borders are now curved. As you also can see, if I will remove the same, you will see the definite difference between them. Okay, so please focus over here. I'm removing the border radius. This will look this. Once I add the border radius, this will be curved like this. So this difference is called border radius. Hope it is clear. Please let me know. Please acknowledge me, guys, if it is clear.
Yeah, got it, sir.
Animation will help you in later because now it will not be easy to understand. Border, right? Border. Caption, not important. Color, we done. Columns, we done. We done with these all. Okay. Now the display properties left. Placeholder is left. Font family is done. Gradient is left. Okay, just one more thing which I want to let you know now. Then the other things we'll be explaining over once we are writing the code. Amit, you want to ask me anything?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So Abhishek, actually thing is that if I have to show my content or whatever I have
Mhm.
built up, including HTML and CSS, where I have used that image tag also. So the
Mhm.
image folder also has to be into that same folder. So like how can we share that those contents with somebody else over mail or WhatsApp? Like the image will not be displayed when the other person opens it up at their end because the image folder is there in my local drive.
Look,
So
like I'm still not very clear. Your query is that you have a project of HTML and CSS where you
Mhm,
have implemented an image, right?
mhm.
And you want to share that particular project with someone else, right? Now, what will
Yes,
be the possible ways to share that project, right?
yes, so that the image is not lost.
So that image is not lost. So there are 2 or 3 ways to implement the image over your project. First, that we implement using any CDN link or href link. Second way
Hmm.
will be like that you imported the image which is in your local machine, right? So
Yes.
which one you are working with?
It's the second one that is in my local drive.
Okay, the image is in your local drive. So what you will have to do in when you are creating the project repo, there should be
Hmm.
a folder called assets. Inside assets, your image should be present. And
Okay.
you will be only when you will be coding writing your code, you'll be only first copying that image to the assets directory, and you are importing it from only assets. And once you are sharing it with your project repo should be shared that contains assets directory as well. So you don't need to worry about anything. Your image will be automatically shared. The
Mhm.
second thing is what will be the possible way when email or something. So there is something called Git and GitHub,
Yeah.
which we'll be learning at the last. Uh, Hopefully at the last or just after the JavaScript will be totally depending over the bandwidth we have. Uh, where we will tell you how to store your code over an open source repositories, open source server where you can see your projects, and also if you want to deploy them over the internet, so you can do the same as well. So that will be at the last actually. We will be telling you how you can deploy your project. So you don't need to worry about that thing.
Okay.
For now, if you want to share your project with someone else, uh, you can do only simple one thing. You can share your project, converting it into the zip file with anyone, whoever you wants to share.
Okay.
Yep. Any other doubt which you want to ask?
No, thank you.
Okay, okay, sure. Not an issue. Okay, so let me mark what are the properties left. Scroll. Transform is left. Word wrap is done. Z index is left. So 2 or 4 properties are left for now, and other properties we will be only covering once we are writing the code, because that will be too much helpful for you guys. So just 1 minute, I'm taking a glass of water till you want to ask any doubt. So please ready with that. So I'm just coming in a 30 seconds or a minute. Okay. Let's back to here. Guys, is there any doubt? Then please let me know now. Okay. So let's move to the display property. What is display property? Let's try to understand about it. Let me refresh the page. Why it is too much scroll? Yes, yes, yes. So what is display property? Let me remove first the other properties which we have. It over there. Yeah, so remove this position fixed. Back to here. Remove the padding from the body. Okay, where it is? Here it is. Now we have two or three things in display property. First, we already know that this H1 element is taking the whole width of the screen. Still, it is still the when the only required width is this, but still it is taking the whole width of the screen. That means this is a display block element. If we want to convert it to display inline, what we can do? We can just write display inline. When you can see now it is taking only the required width of the screen. It is not taking the full width of the screen. We have one more property instead of display inline. If I'll convert back to you and we'll set the width of this container. Suppose let me set width to max content. So it is taking the only required width of the screen, but it's displays block. Okay, but now I can do one thing only. I can margin auto. Now what is this margin auto will be helpful? When I will set this margin auto to this element, it will be automatically centered over your y-axis, over your x-axis only. It will never be applied over the x-axis. It will only be applied over the y-axis, over this horizontal effect, not any kind of vertical effect. So when you set a display block of an element, please listen the rules carefully. When you are setting the display block of an element, you are defining the width of that element. You are defining that element should be uh, this much of width. Like as we defined that the width of this element should be max content required. So in that case, when you apply the margin auto property, it will be centered between the x-axis. It will be centered over the horizontal axis of your machine. Hope it is clear. Now let's back to the display properties. Okay. So let me comment this. So also, if you want to convert any span tag into block level tag, what you can do? Let me initialize a span tag over here. Span. I'm the span element. Okay, as we know, span element takes only the required width of the screen. So let me cover if span should be here. Background color should be wheat. Border radius should be 8 pixels. And color should be pink, let's say. Okay, this is here. No, let me do one more thing. Instead of the pink, color should be red. Okay, padding should be 20 pixels. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, there's one issue. Let me comment this as well. Okay. Let me margin top. Okay, I think padding should be 2 pixels. It's still taking overlapping this. Yeah. So margin should be from top 20 pixels. Why it is not applying over here? If I move back to here, yeah. Okay, so as we can see, this particular element only taking the required width of the screen. So it's an span element. It's an inline element. Now, if I apply display block level to it, it will be applied over here. Display is block that it is taking the whole width of the screen. And also when I applied the margin property without the inline element, it was not taking the margin property. So this thing is for the notes keeping thing, that when we are applying any kind of margin over an inline element, that should not be applicable over there. Hope that's clear. So the main thing is here, when we are using margin auto property, we are setting the display block. That's the reason that any kind of element which is not at the block level of the screen, we cannot set the margin for that element. So this thing you should be notes for your recalling purpose. Okay. So this was the thing. Now we have the one and most important property, which is flex. Now, what is flex? Suppose we want to set this hello world should be the middle of the screen. I want to make it at here. That I can do with the margin auto property. But if suppose I want to make it instead of here, I want to make it here at the middle of the screen, vertically and horizontally. Do we have any properties? No. We don't have any properties in terms of margin, in terms of floating. Okay. One more thing I forget to tell you. There's something called float. Now, what is float? Let's apply over here. Float, right. So floating property is used to set your element where it should be displayed over the right, over the left. Okay, also I can apply it. I think margin top should be reduced. Yep. Display inline. Okay. No, sorry. I have to date here. Float right. So this floating right property is for inline is setting the maximum required width of the element from the right side and converting the elements over the inline and taking the only required width of the screen. And the elements are shifted to the right side. But this float property is not scalable because when you write the code in this manner, so that is not helpful. So, sir, what is the need of float? Can't we proceed without float? No. Let's see. As you can see, this button, or this button actually. Okay, you can see this nav bar is in the right side of the screen. So if it is not possible, then how can we do that? So we have something called flex. Now, what is flex? Flex is a kind of container element which is used to set the elements over vertically, over horizontally, in the required width, in the required manner, which is acceptable for the user and also scalable for the scalable applications, for the scaling applications. Okay, let's try to proceed it. How we can write the code. Let's try to understand little bit about it. So, sorry guys, just a second. Yeah. So let's move to the scalability part of a flow. Yeah, display flex. So let me remove all the things from here. Just I'm making a container over here. There's something called container. Let's remove all the properties apart from this only. Okay. Okay, if I'm not wrong, someone is asking for the code in the last session. Okay, maybe I don't remember. If it is not required, then I can also delete it. If you don't want it. Yes. Okay. So let's move to the flex properties. So we have a container. Let's give it the border container border 2 pixels solid red. Okay, this is taking the whole width of screen. Now take the whole height of screen as well. 100 vs. Okay. Yeah. Now it is taking the whole width and whole height of the screen. Now there is something called H1 element, or let's say, yeah, H1 element, hello, white. Then this I want to make it center. So I can do two things here if I want it. I can set the containers H1 should be text align center because it is text. But suppose that in future, instead of this text, there will be something called image or any audio or any another element, UL element, LI element. So we cannot do it because text align will be only working for the text element. So we can do one more thing instead of this. We can set the width to max content and we can apply it margin auto. So now it's again center. But the main issue is still here. I want to center it vertically as well. And I don't have any solution for it. Now what I can do, there is something called flex property for the container. This flex property will be only applicable uh, to the parent component, not to the child component. Okay, it is not so easy. Maybe you are taking it as easy. Yeah, I applied display flex property, but there is still no change. So in display flex property, we have two more important properties, which is justify content. Now justify content means to make your element center horizontally. So let's say center. So as you can see, our element is center by horizontally. Now, if I want to make it center vertically, so there is something called align item center. If you do it, your element will be centered from the both indexes. Okay. Justify content center and align item center. So this was the case when I have only one element over here. If we have two elements, let's say five elements. Hello world. Hello Stew Valley. Hello India. Whatever, like, what am I doing? I don't know. Hello Indians. Hello students. Okay, let me add a exclamatory mark, which is my favorite. Let's save it. So our elements is coming one by one in the same line, but this should not be happen. So why it should be happen? Let me try to explain this thing. So when you apply any display flex property, that will take your all elements into the same line. Suppose this particular container will contain if 10 number of elements, so that will be repeated from the in the same line because we applied the display flex property into row. If you want to make it in the column, so you can apply flex direction should be column. So this will be applying one after one over there. Okay. Also for your better reference, let me give it some border. So that will help you a lot. Border, 1 pixel solid gray, gray, and border radius should be 10 pixel. Yep, that works. So it is now in the columns direction. Now, if you want to give the gap between them, you can apply a property which is called gap 10 pixels. So now these elements are 10 pixels away from their next element. We have also multiple properties in justify content. If you apply justify content, space between. So the elements are started from one end of your application to the last end of your application with to the last end of your container with equal distance. The distance between this, between this, between this, between this will be equal. One more thing I want to tell you in starting, I told you that justify content is for horizontal purpose. Horizontal purpose. Okay, there's something I did. And this particular property is for vertical purpose. But now what was the issue when I changed the justify content property, it is changed vertically, not horizontally. Okay, so that's the reason. What's the reason behind that? When you change the flex direction, initial flex direction was row. When you apply a flex, the initial flex direction should always be a row. So these particular properties will be interchanged once you change the flex direction. Let me change it to column again. So now this will be the horizontal purpose and this should be the vertical purpose. Let me change the align items as well. Suppose align items should be uh, first baseline. Okay, so it will be started from here, or you can say flex start. So this will be aligned to here. If you want to make it to the last point, flex end. If you want to make them the center, so we have the property center. So these properties are called Flexbox. Please let me know if it is clear because this is one of the most important topics of your whole curriculum. Please acknowledge me if there's any doubt.
No doubt, sir.
All clear? Akhilesh, all clear? Okay. If there is no doubt, try to copy the whole piece of code in just 2 minutes. Then we will continue to the landing page creation. Let me open this side by side. How can I open it side by side? I'll never do this. So this is the HTML code and this will be the CSS code. Please try it quickly. It is 48. You have the time still 52. Then we'll move to the next thing. Please let me know, guys. Is that done? Or are you still writing the code or trying this?
We are
Please acknowledge
using
me, everyone.
here,
Sorry?
Abhishek,
Yeah.
we are using justify content twice here. One with the center, another with the space between.
Uh, Actually, no. We are not any property in the same scope. We are not using it again. We are just updating. Instead
Okay.
of this, if you will write the space between over here and will remove the this, so that will be the same.
Okay, good.
So that thing I told you earlier, actually, wherever we are using the property, again in the same code snippet, so it is just updating the last property. Okay, of course, we should not do it. If you are writing a code for a company, we should not do it because that will increasing the number of lines without any requirement. So that is not acceptable actually. So instead of that, we should go here and should update. This thing is just for the testing purpose. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Lalit, Amit, and Akhilesh, have you tried it over your machine? Please let me know. Yes or no? Or still you are writing the code?
I done it.
Amit, actually, I was not clear.
Done writing.
Okay, okay. Just giving 1 more minute, 1 or 2 more minutes, so that if someone is left, please write your code. Then we'll move to the, and start implementing it web app. Okay. Let's cite the web page to implement which one we should do it. Okay. So that's a very easy project actually to implement, but this will require the images and other things. So we'll be working over this. We'll be creating this project within, and we'll try to complete it within 1 hour. Okay. So yeah. So this you can consider as your one project. So let me close this. Let me close this. Let me close this. Let me close this. Let me close this as well. Let's create a new repo. New file. No, new folder. MLM landing page. It is MLM landing page because I named it MLM landing page. Whatever you want, you can do it. Index.html styles.css. Please make sure one thing, guys. Uh, write the code very efficiently. Write the code very formatively so that we can use it again as per the requirement. Padding, margin, and box sizing. I'm not using any variable over here. If there's any requirement of the variable, we will create in the next section. Okay, there's something called in CSS which is called variables. So please keep it remember, guys. I will explain you. Okay, so first of all, we have a nav bar over it. So let's create a nav bar. Div dot. Instead of div, we have something called nav. And directly create. We'll be creating the nav bar over inside the header. This will be the header of our web page. Well, let's give an border to header. Whenever you are writing the code, please make sure that you are giving the border because that will give you the more liberty to understand what you are creating. You need to open the local host again. Okay. It is not working because we still not linked the CSS. Yep, it's here. Give the padding in header, let's say 20 pixels. Okay. Padding is there. Now what we have in the instead of here, let me open it here. Okay. What should be the color? Let's inspect the color from here. Background color is this one. Let me copy it from here. Background color should be this one. To F. The same background color is here now. There will be something called logo and something called nav items. So let me apply the logo here. So div dot logo wrapper image should be this. Okay, so how will I get the URL of the image? Just click over here. There will be a URL of the image which you can find here. Let's copy this URL actually. I don't think that we should do it, but I'm doing it because this is also my project. So that won't be an issue for us. Images here. Need to apply the nav items. So just after this, create a nav items. Inside nav items, we have this list. So we'll use unordered list. And for each element, we'll use li list item. Home, about us, services, project, log pages. Home, about us, services. Also in this thing, I will tell you one more property which you will learn here. Services, project, blog and pages. Okay, let's go back to here. Okay, one element we used again. This should not be here. Actually. Okay, this is an error. Yeah, now it's perfect. So instead of multiple lines, let me cover it into one line. Code quality should not be affectable. Okay, let me apply the display flex property to make the difference between them. Display flex, justify content space between, one should be here and second one should be, and this thing also be flex. So inside nav bar, we have something called UL, unordered list. Let's make it display flex. Also, the list item type, list style type should be none. And it should be gap of 5 pixels between them. Instead of 5 pixels, make it 10 pixels. Yeah. So yeah, now you will learn one more property here, which is list style type. So if you want to change the list disk, like there was a disk, as you can see, if I remove it. So if you want to make it change, like instead of disk, you want to make it uh anything like Armenian, you can do that. If you want to make it decimal, so that you can do that 1, 2, 3, 4. So that I'm removing actually that thing because that is not required. So this will be like this. And also we have some properties for align item center over here. Yep. Okay, let's reduce the red padding should be 10 pixel. Yep. From the left right padding should be left 40 pixel, padding should be right 40 pixels. Yeah, now it's more perfect. Now what I have to do, if you go back to here, as you can see, these all navigation items are in capital and we made it in small. So we have some property called uh, in which we need to apply our list item, which is called text transform, which should be uppercase. So now it is much similar to this, but I still need to copy the font which we use here. The font is here Quicksand. So we need to copy the font from Google Fonts. We want Quicksand. We need to search it over here. Quicksand. This one is the font. Go over here. Got it. Search over, click over the get font. Get the embedded code. Click over import, which will be used in the CSS. Copy this piece of line. Paste it at the top. Use this piece of code over the font family. Let's go back to here. It's much similar to this one actually now. Color should be hash. Color should be hash 333. Color is same. What are the other properties? Font size should be 13 pixels. and weight should be 500. So font weight should be 500. Font size should be 13 pixels. Yeah, it's bit same like this. Just need to add the gap between them more, a little bit more, which is 25 pixel actually, which should be here 25 pixel. So yeah, now it's bit same. Need to fix the padding part. So here we have the padding of 150 pixels actually, which we should need to fix over here. 150 over here, 150 over here, and rest of the padding should be just 2 pixels. So it is bit same like this one, as we can see. So now it's perfect. Need to remove the border and saving the code. So now it's perfect. Now we need to add this section. This thing is we called hero section. So let's create hero. So before that, I'm initializing the gate for your future reference if you want the code, guys. So ls cd MLM landing page, get init, get add dot, get commit, that header implemented. Okay. Till now, if there's anyone who has any issues, please let me know. Else we are moving ahead. Okay, so let's move to the div section. This image section actually. So div dot wrapper of hero. So if I go back to here, click over here, wrapper hero, border should be 2 pixel solid red. Saving it over here. That's perfect. Need to implement the image over here. So let me go back to here. Let me copy this image from here, hover over it, and there's we have the image. This will be the URL of image. So instead of a image source, this will be the link, error in loading. Okay, and source set should be reduced. Okay, back to here. This is applied. Now need to remove the border again because this is useless. Okay, but why it's getting scrolled? Because it is taking more width. So need to add one thing only, with the wrapper hero image should be with 100% bimax. Not being, nice, perfect. Now remove this border. Yeah. So hero section is also implemented. Let me commit it over git. That git add dot git commit hero section implemented. Yeah. So let's move to the next thing other than hero section. Let's create this part. This part. So this we call what we can say it as content banner. So let me mark it as content banner. Div dot content banner. Okay, so let me go back to here. Content banner. 2 pixel solid red. Go over here. It is here. Let me add some padding to it. Padding 20 pixel. So actually padding top and padding bottom 40 pixels. And yep. Okay. So let me add padding top 40 pixel, padding bottom 40 pixel. Only the padding should be here. And background color should be the same. background color should be the same. Yeah. Now we need to implement these cards over here. Now, what are these cards actually? So, yeah, these are the cards which we use for these data purpose. Let me create them here. So, div dot content cards. Let's name them content card. Okay. In content card, there should be two things only. One padding should be content card of 20 pixels. So let me mark it as here. Content card padding should be 20 pixels. First should be the header of card. Second will be the content of the card. So let me go here. Div dot header of content card, and the second will be div dot content of content card. I think that was not relevant, but yeah. Header contains an image and a paragraph. So let me go here, image source, error in loading, SRC set removed. Paragraph should be global connection, and content should be lorem ipsum. So let me mark it as lorem 50. Okay. So now try to give the CSS to that particular element. Before that, give the URL of this image. Okay. This is an icon of font awesome icons. So for this thing, we need to use font awesome icons. We need the CDN link of font awesome actually. Okay. So the CDN link should be inside docs. Okay, let me directly search CDN links on awesome. And this should be marked here. Now we can directly use this element over here. Instead of image, class should be this one. Okay, I'll fix it later. First, let me apply the CSS over here. Let me go here. Let's give content card some width. Oh, let's give the border first. Border 2 pixel solid, right? Okay, width should be 30%. Okay, one more thing which I want to do, copy this to 3 times. Really. Now, this particular things are repetitive 3 times. Let me fix the CSS. I think I did something wrong over here. So till now it is perfect. So if I close content card, So line number 46 will be the okay. Need to copy this thing actually. And yeah, now it's perfect. Apply the CSS over here. First, the content banner, display, flex, justify content, center, line items, center. Yep, but why it is getting this? Let me think what I did wrong.
डिव क्लोज हो गया शायद ऊपर ही डिव ऊपर ही क्लोज कर दिया था मैंने ये
Oh,
लाइन
okay,
नंबर
okay,
16 में
okay, okay. Understood. हमने ये गलत कर दिया ना. अब होगा डिप परफेक्ट.
सर नीचे भी ऐसे
हाँ
ही
देखो, हाँ तीनों में है. Thanks for informing me. Now it's perfect. Now we need to give the gap between them. Suppose 20 pixels. Yeah, that's more perfect. So let me fix the other things as well. Now I'm not, this thing will not be requiring over here. Let me remove this border. Other things, how can I fix? The border should be in this color. So this will be the primary color, this one. EF lux. Okay. So color is same. There should be a border radius of, let's say 15 pixels. Perfect. The header of content card should be content card header content. What is the name of that thing? Header content. Header content card. Color should be the same. Okay. And font family should be again quicksand. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me reinitialize the font family for the whole elements. So copy it from here and paste it for here. Yes, perfect. Okay. For the better reference, let me do it text align center for some creativity actually. Yeah. And content of content card should be paragraph should be text align center and color should be same. Okay. Okay. Till now the things are perfect, but the color is not good. So let me back it to the last color, which is 333. And yeah, it's perfect. And let me increase the font weight of this to 600. Yep, now it is looking much prettier than the last version. So our contents also implemented. So let me add it. Git add dot git commit and content are implemented. Contenting, I guess it is, yeah, content banner implemented. Okay. So what will be the next? The about us section will be the next. So this thing I'm leaving it for you guys. Yeah, please.
सर उसमें आइकन्स क्यों नहीं शो हो रहा है ऊपर
हाँ वो आइकन्स लगाया नहीं ना उसके लिए फॉन्ट आसान इम्प्लीमेंट करना पड़ेगा वो एट द एंड विल डू दैट या so about this I'm leaving for you because this is the only thing which will be covering all the concept till now which we have discovered. ठीक है यहाँ पे border radius लगेगा यहाँ पे font weight लगेगा यहाँ पे image का property लगेगा तो I'm leaving it for you guys to cover it. I'm working over this one. ठीक है तो ये वाला सेक्शन आप लोगों को इंप्लीमेंट करके लाना है बिफोर द नेक्स्ट सेशन. आई विल बी शेयरिंग यू द कोड. तो ये कर लेते हैं ना. तो इसके लिए मेरे को चाहिए सबसे पहले तो बैकग्राउंड इमेज जो कि मुझे मिलेगी यहाँ पे. Where's my image? Where is my image? This is the image. Okay. तो हमें एक रैपर बनाना है अचीवमेंट रैपर करके. Then I'll be disclosing you how it's working. So let's create. Okay. आ गया क्या? नहीं आया. स्पेलिंग में गलती हो गई कहीं पे. What I did wrong here. ACHIEVEEVEMONTS. And that should be displaying over here. Okay, it's here. Let me apply the background image should be background position should be center. Background repeat should be no repeat. Background size should be cover contain. Okay, it is still not there because now we need to add the section over here. So inside it, we'll be creating a section which is wrapper. Div dot achievements wrap container, not wrapper. Inside it, we have 3 elements. What are them? Where it is 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are 4 divs actually. Okay. So div dot parts of achievements. Let's mark it achieve. And that will be H1, which is 600, and H3, which is happy user. Let's copy it 4 times. Yep, I hope it should be here. Yeah, that's it. That's here. This contain should be cover. Perfect. Now let's apply the achievements container border to pixel solid red. Yep. And what is the background color? I want to check. The only thing is, what is the background color here? Background color this way. This, okay. So let me apply the background color, but not directly. This will be applying over the back layer. Now I will tell you the reason why we are applying over the back layer. After content will be something. Position absolute with 100%, height 100%, and the only thing is top 0 left 0. That's fine. Background color should be this one. The index should be -1. Hope it's there. Oh, okay. What I did wrong here. No, it should be inside. Okay. Something we did wrong here. Okay, but this should not be happen actually. If I apply it to wrapper, something I missed it. Hmm, we did something wrong here. Okay, let me do it later. First, let me cover this, then I will apply the color. So, what is this? Display should be flex, perfect. Minimum height of this should be 242 pixels. This height should be 100%. Okay. Why it is not taking the height of this? Achievements container is here and this is here. Then it should take, no? Let me cover it 50%. This is working. Okay, because I applied here minimum height, not height. Justify content center. Align item center. Okay. This should be removed. Okay. Achieve part. Border. 2 pixels solid white. What is the name of these cards? Okay, cards achieve, not achieve. Yep, now it's working. Again, need to apply display flex over here. Flex direction should be column. And align item should be center. And gap should be 20 pixels at least. And font size should be H1 font size should be 2 rem, 4 rem. Okay, color should be white. And color should also be white here. Perfect. What the thing we are missing here? Applying gap to, no, not gap, because, not gap. Need to apply the padding over here. Okay. Then I need to set the width to 35%. Okay. I need to set the width of the card as well. To make it 25% of the container. Okay, that's perfect. Need to add the padding here. Padding left 50 pixels. Similarly, right 50 pixels. Perfect. Now just need to fix the border. Border should only be for the right one. Border right 0.5 pixel gray. 0.5 pixels solid gray. What I did something wrong here, which I forget to mention. This is done. The border is here actually. Okay, height should be the 100%. So need to fix the height. If I mark it as here, align item center, justify content also center. Perfect. Border right, this border right should be removed. So cards achieve last of type. Basically, this will select the last element. Last of type. Border should be none. Yeah, that is removed. The border should be written then only. Now we need to apply the color effect, which we were missing actually. Yep. So the color effect between the background. So let me have the achievements wrapper over after border 2 pixels solid red. There it is. It is not here. Content should be position should be absolute. Top 0, left 0. Okay, till now it's here now. Apply this 100%. Perfect height 100%. Hope it works perfectly. Yep. Now just need to apply the background color over here. Background color is where it is. This should be inside it. This will be the background color. If I go back to here, this is applied. Just need to make it before -1. Okay, so I'm removing it completely. So this thing will not be okay. This I need to consider. Thread index -2. No. I'm missing something here, which I forget to fix. Z index I fixed. Okay, wrapper Z index should be 0. Then only that will be at top. Yep, now it's working perfectly. So what we did here, what is the concept of this Z index? I will tell you later because what it is actually, let me explain you. We have concept of multiple layer of our web page. Suppose we have 3 layers over here. First layer is this one, second layer that color one, and third layer that image one. So we are setting the levels that which layer should be displayed before. So at the last, we have the -1 index where we have the concept of that image layer. After that, we implemented that color whose index is 0. And at the last, we have the concept of this thing whose index is 1. So this thing is called Z index. Once you are creating the application, then you will only understand what is the concept of layers actually. Get add dot get commit m achievements section implemented. Perfect. Need to move a little bit down. Our services is nothing but the copy of this thing. What we did here, just one more property will be applied over there, that is flex wrap. Flex wrap is nothing but when your elements are overflowing the container. So flex wrap will be helpful to cover the container and decrease and convert them into the next line instead of one line. So try to learn it by yourself. Then only I'll help you to learn about it. So I'll be only implementing this section and this section for the quick note. So sign up to our newsletter and this thing as well. So these two things we are going to implement now. So this is subscription section. This section, this section, this section, and this sections are too easy if you are clear. So that will be your assignment for before the next class. You have to complete them and try to implement it by yourself in the existing code. Also try to implement the whole things again, and that will be more helpful for you once you are writing your code by yourself. Then I will tell you the concept of responsiveness. There's something in CSS called responsiveness only. So the two things in left CSS, which is responsiveness and animations only. There's one more thing which is called transition. We'll be covering over this session only. So what is transition? Let me try to explain you first. So transition is something, suppose we have a concept of hover effect. I hope transition I already covered, but let me explain you again. Suppose we have those elements. So let me create a property over there where it is li. Someone should hover over li, then cursor should be pointer and color should be pink and scale should be 1.2. Sorry, transform scale 1.2. Basically, it will be scaled by 1.2. So when you are going to hover over it, as you can see, this is suddenly increasing. Let me increase it to 1.5 actually, then you will understand. As you can see, it is suddenly increasing. So instead of increasing it suddenly, we have a concept of transition. We just need to apply over here transition. All means this will take these whole properties and apply the time effect. So let's say apply 0.2 seconds. So when I click over here, now it is not suddenly increasing, it is increasing with a transition, not suddenly, as you can see. So for a better effect, let me cover it into 2 seconds, then you will understand. So when I click over here, so now it is coming up with an animation, not it is increasing suddenly. Please let me know if all the things till now is clear. Akhilesh, Amit, Saurabh, and Amit. Please let me know. And any issue, then please let me know now. At least acknowledge me, guys, so that I can understand. Akhilesh, Amit, Lalit, Shubham. Please say yes or no.
Yes.
Just
Yeah,
one.
got it.
Great. Akhilesh, Lalit, and last Shubham. Please let me know if it is clear. Perfect. So please note, please first note your assignment for the next session. You need to complete the required things. The link of the UI I'll sharing you, and you have to complete the other things which are left in this session, so that you will get a more understanding about it. Okay, 1 second, just I'm trying to figure out one code for you. Let's see if it is here. Okay. It is. Okay, let's see if it is not getting. So yeah, let's back to here. So this thing is called animation. Let me cover it into 0.5 seconds. Actually, it should be in 0.1 second. Yeah, perfect. So the next thing will be footer. Let's do it with footer only. That will be completable. So let's create a footer over here. How can I hide it? Perfect. Footer. So let's go to here. Hmm. Okay. So in the footer, we also have the again div for nav section. We will be using the same navigation elements. Perfect. So inside .nav section, border 2 pixels solid red. Perfect. UL li color white. Display flex, justify content center, align item center. Perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. So list is style type none. Actually, display should be again flex. Gap should be between them 20 pixels. Padding should be top 50 pixel, padding bottom 50 pixel, and this height should be removed actually, and this border should be removed, and this border should be removed as well. So now it's looking bit same like this one. So and when I hover over it, that's perfect. Just remove the unrequired lines only. Okay. Let me apply another div over here. Section, what it is called, footer. Section footer. Border 2 pixels solid red. Padding top 15 pixel. Padding bottom 15 pixel. It will contain only one paragraph, that's copyright one. So copyright 2024, all rights are reserved for 2024. Okay. Section footer, paragraph color white, text alignment center, font size will be 0.7 gram, 0.8 gram. Okay. And this should be removed. So in this doc, okay. There's a line, there's a thin line actually. Border top 0.5 pixels solid gray, and this should be gray instead of white. So that's perfect. This is the landing page, but still it needs modification. Like we need to add the sections over here. We need to add the other things. So now please ask me your queries. So first, let me explain you what you have to create now. This is the MLM landing page. Let me share over the chats. Please copy it for your reference. Okay. So this is an MLM landing page which contains these effects. As you can see, this hover effect. The border is getting increased. Okay. There's a button. Try to implement animation over here. So from the first part, apply the animation over here once you are creating. It is not animation, it is transition. Okay, just one thing is left. What is font awesome icons? So we have some icons from the libraries like font awesome, bootstrap, tailwind. So what we can use it, we have a link to import that called is CDN link, content delivery link. Okay, sorry, content delivery network link. Okay, we just need to import that link to our code that will be automatically implementable over your code. Okay, where's my doctor? Not. Okay, perfect. Yeah, let me try to explain you what is CDN links and why are we using that. So CDN link is nothing but just as you go here in the style.css, this top link is called CDN link, content delivery link. First, let me commit the code till now. Okay, let's back to here. So these content delivery links are used to, instead of writing the whole code directly, we can copy from their website. So font awesome CDN link to use their icons. Search over here, you'll find a site called Font Awesome. Click over here. Okay, sorry, click over here. Here's the link for CSS. And where it is? Yeah. So copy this link and paste it to here where we imported another things. Yeah. Paste it to here. I think now you will implement any icon from here. You'll be able to implement over there. So get start for free. Getting started. Go to API, investor app. Okay. So this, okay, they changed some rules. Okay, what they did now, in the last version of they were not accepting any emails. Now what they are doing, you have to provide your email over there, and will click over the send kit embed code. Once you click over here in your mail account, you will get a unique embed code. The current embed codes which are public, I think they closed them, and you have to import that code instead of this line. And you'll be able to implement any element by just choosing their HTML component, copy and paste. You'll be able to implement it directly over your code. So this will be the new way. So that's perfect. That's a good thing actually. So sign in. Okay. So this thing is called font awesome icons and CDN links. Now, please let me know till now you have any doubt related to your curriculum, related to your assignment, anything which you want to ask, please let me know. Else after 5 minutes, we'll wrap the session. How can I make it? Yep.
सर आपने जो CSS में ये आफ्टर डबल कॉलन आफ्टर वगैरह यूज किया था वो सर उसका क्या होता है?
ये मैंने बोला था ना, देखो what are we doing here? Sometimes we are using this image. Okay. Suppose ये वाला ना मैं थोड़ा सा use case explain कर देता हूँ. Suppose you are using this image. Now what you want that image opacity should be 1, should be 0. Okay, here 0.1. ये सिर्फ 10% दिखे, as the other image should be transparent. So if you are writing the text over here by using any h1 or any element, or you are placing any element over here, तो जो opacity है वो उस element की भी reduce हो जाएगी. But what you want, the image before that element should be with reduced opacity, and the other element should be same. So what are we doing? We will not be implementing the image over the same layer. The element should be a different layer and image should be a different layer. So we are changing anything will in the image will not be affecting the element will be present over there. So for that thing, we have a concept of before and after. Okay, कि हम इमेज के बिफोर में मतलब एक पर्टिकुलर किसी भी टैग के बिफोर में कुछ एलिमेंट लगा सकते हैं या उसके आफ्टर में लगा सकते हैं. जिस तरीके से लगाया दैट इज द वे दैट वी डिड इट. बट होपफुली मेरे को 110% पता है, वो किसी का क्लियर नहीं होगा, वो तभी क्लियर होगा जब आप प्रैक्टिस करोगे. ठीक है, तो एक बार जब हम सेकंड प्रोजेक्ट बनाएंगे देन आई विल ट्राई टू एक्सप्लेन द कि अगर हम उसको नहीं लगाते और डायरेक्ट कोड लिखते बिना बिफोर आफ्टर के तो हमें क्या कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस फेस करने पड़ते हैं और उससे वो कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस कैसे सेव हो गए. So you don't need to worry about that thing. I know that thing already. Yep. Perfect. किसी को कोई डाउट नहीं, how it's possible. अखिलेश, अमित, ललित, शुभम. Tell me your doubts. Okay, please acknowledge me if you don't have any doubts, everyone. Akhilesh, Amit, and Lalit.
We will get the doubts when we start actually building on our own.
Understood. That thing is really important. The link of the MLM landing page Versal app, I shared it in the chats. So please copy the link and try to exactly copy the whole web app. Okay, there are just 4 or 5 topics left in CSS, which we'll be covering in the next session. And one of them is very important, which is called responsiveness. So I want to suggest you guys that before the next session, please try to understand a little bit about responsiveness, because responsiveness is the one of the hardest topic, because the students don't like them. Student wants that they don't want to write the responsive code. So I want to suggest you to please be ready with the responsiveness concepts. Responsiveness is nothing but write your code with each and every machine, so that it is like, what is the issue? Let me show you here. Suppose This is the screen of my laptop. And we know that our mobile screen's width is too much low as comparison to this device. So when I move to 379 pixels, which is the mobile screen of, which is an mobile screen. So this UI will become so bad. So we need to handle this thing also. As we go here, we'll go to the 300 pixels. Now you can see the UI looks so pretty instead of that. But here it is not looking clean. So we need to fix this issue as well. So just because of this issue, we'll be learning about the responsiveness concepts. And this is one of the major issue actually. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, if everybody is clear, nobody don't have any doubt, then we can drop the session. Please let me know if that's done. If you don't have any issue, guys.
There is the recording available होगी ना तो send हो.
That you can ask the host.
Yeah, recorded session available after 24 to 48 hours after editing. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other doubt, or we are good?
Very good.
Great. Host, one more thing I want to know. The next session will be at?
Saturday.
No, I'm asking about the evening batch.
Evening message as of 5 p.m.
Okay, 5 to 6 and 6 to 7.
5 to 7. Yeah.
Can't we do it 4 to 7?
Sorry, sir. I already messaged.
4 to 6.
I already messaged in the group, sir.
But he told me about 4 to 6.